to be here at the same club championship, trying to represent Miami. And the opening kick will be Pruitt, and he'll take it out past the 30-yard line. That's where Blocky will go to work. Blocky's so good at that bunch a couple years ago. I think he's going to have to rely on his defense here today.
I think so too. But Blocky, he won't make mistakes. You know, he may get bottled up, he may get stopped, but we're not going to see him throw a lot of interceptions. You know, he just has never been that player. He always takes what's given to him. Doesn't take a whole lot of sacks. He's a really smart player. He adjusts in game very well. He plays the game just as much as anybody. Always in practice mode. I haven't been in practice mode in years. Every time I sign on my Xbox, I go to my friends list, and there Blocky is, practice mode. I'm not kidding. I cannot remember last time I booted up my Xbox and Blocky wasn't in practice mode.
And it seems like Mattster Gamer has set up his defense. He's going to face Blocky, and maybe not worried about the final, worried about the semifinal first.
One thing I really liked about Mattster's defense is he has this defense where he's able to use the linebackers, where we see most people using the safeties to stop the run. He has this defense where he's able to use the linebackers and defend the stretch and the halfback dive, which we don't see a lot of. So he chose not to waste that 6 cap on the safeties, instead just using it on the 2 linebackers, freeing up some cap on other spaces on his team.
Well, 1st and 10. I want to say hello to you Miami Dolphin fans. Of course, all you Madden maniacs watching here on a Thursday. And there goes Lamar. Getting out of the pocket for a moment. He'll spin for 2.
And what we've seen Blocky do right there, he switched to a ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage and spun out that spy right there for just to get a 2 extra yards. But that's the difference between it being 2nd and 10 and 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8.
Tyreek Hill over on the right side along with Ross and Pruitt. Torrey Holt, the former Wolfpack wide receiver, over on the left as Lamar stands in the gun here on 2nd and 8. Opening drive of the ball game. And just one high safety. Got to get out to the 40-yard line. Lamar turns, throws, hits Torrey Holt, and he's fighting for yards. I think that's going to be close to a first down. And it is a first down.
I think we're going to see Blocky roll out a lot in this game and throw these corner routes. He's going to wait for that edge rusher to get blocked and then just roll right out to his side and throw the corner out, leaving Mattster's user in a little bit of an awkward position because he's going to have that deep post, which Mattster isn't going to be able to cover both. Blocky's a really, really smart player. He's going to figure this defense out.
We're going to have 2 very different quarterbacks in this game with Peyton Manning and Lamar Jackson. 1st and 10 at the 40. Lamar steps and throws. There's a wide open Ross, and Pat Pete will wrap him up at the 46.
And something you'll notice in this salary cap mode, not a lot of players are able to force those hit stick fumbles. Really just Tillman, Ray Lewis, the big hitters. So that's why you see Blocky trying to juke with a John Ross. Even though John Ross doesn't have the best juke rating, the likelihood of fumbling is so low that it's okay to go ahead and try to juke somebody out.
2nd and 4. Bunch to the right side. Lamar again. Escapes to the left. He'll throw it up top, wide open. It's Torrey Holt. Touchdown, Blocky.
Scott, I'm watching the game. I'm just sitting back watching the game, and I did not see that guy just wide open. I thought he was just going to throw the ball away. Ends up getting a free touchdown.
And Blocky, who normally is very reserved, had some words for Mattster Gamer as he in favor of Blocky.
And I did not expect to see Mattster in 3-4 odd. I expected him to be in that 3-3-5 normal like D. Croft was versus Young Kiv, because I know they lab together. And I'm a little bit worried for Matt after that first drive. I don't think that defense is going to be able to stop Blocky.
So now it's time for Mattster Gamer as we look at this one more time. That's a blown coverage.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think Blocky might know something that not a lot of people know, because I believe that was a squat, and normally those squats are always following back. It looked like Blocky might have something that most people don't have in their arsenal.
It almost looked like Pat Pete responded like a click-in.
Yeah.
I mean, he came up very quickly, and old Torrey Jabbar Holt was wide open in the end zone. And as I mentioned in the pregame, Mattster Gamer did a lot of talking last week about what he was going to do today, and finds himself down a touchdown.
Scott, I've been on that side of, you know, running my mouth and getting shut up. So that's always a possibility, you know. So none of that really matters. You know, he could have been just trying to hype himself up. Maybe he doesn't feel confident at all. You know what I mean? I know I've done that. But the problem is you always have to play the game. It never matters what you say. You always have to play the game. And we haven't even seen him on offense yet. I'm excited to see what he has to offer.
He's 32-18 in his MCS career for Mattster Gamer, taking home $26,000 in Madden play as Manning hands it off to Clinton Portis, and Portis once again is off to the races.
Thank you, Chaz.
Touchdown, Mattster Gamer. One play, one score.
And I think Blocky felt a little bit comfortable because Mattster doesn't have that jukebox on Clinton Portis, so he just figured it'd be a little bit easier to tackle him. So he didn't play on that safety, ended up playing on that linebacker.
Right.
I don't like when people use the linebackers because you're just so susceptible to give up a huge gain. When you're on that safety, you're able to control that last line of defense and just kind of stop them from breaking the huge run.
7-7. It's sort of a graduation, right? You start playing Madden on the line, then you go to the linebackers, then you go to the safeties. No one home. That's Clinton Earl Portis for the 1,000th time this tournament with a long run.
Absolutely. And, you know, I grew up when everybody used the safety. It went to like a linebacker meta, and then we see that spin again. I'm telling you, for the people watching at home, I don't even think you guys realize how much skill that takes to what he's doing. He might be the only person in this tournament that we see do that. He switched to the ball carry with the left trigger behind the line of scrimmage and spinning out a spy. It's so tough to do. Not even the elite of the elite players can do it.
Brings up a 2nd and 2. And a quick throw to Ross. Seymour tries to strip it away, but not before they'll move the chains. How about that? 4 of 4 for 71 yards for Blocky.
Blocky looks extremely sharp on offense. It doesn't look like this pass rush is going to get to him, and he's never going to miss that quick read, ever.
Old Abbott Lopez, 23 years old from Miami, Florida, has us in a 7-7 ball game. Just his 2nd possession here in this opening quarter. We knew it was going to be a good one. Goes to Ross again. This time he runs around Seymour, little stutter step, and that'll move it out to the 42-plus territory.
Really good stick work right there. He knows John Ross isn't going to be able to juke anybody out. Hits him with the little stop and go for a few extra yards.
So that'll make it 1st and 10. Everything clicking right now for Blocky in the passing game. Torrey Holt off to the left side.
Great playmaker.
And hits Ross, and Ross can't hold on as Pat Pete comes up and lays the lumber.
I'm a big fan of the possession catcher on the sideline because you do get the I don't like the rack animations that you get on the sidelines because they leave you a little bit open for a hit stick. If he would have just possessioned that, he would have gained the same amount of yards he would have gained as racking it, but he would have caught the ball for sure.
So knotted up at 7 apiece. After the big hit by Pat Pete, it'll force 2nd down, 2nd and 10 from the 42.
Look for this post deep.
Lamar spinning left, coming back right, and he'll just throw it away. Nothing there.
I think if he would have stayed in the pocket, he might have had that post deep, but he was just expecting the corner route to run open.
After completing his first 5 passes of the game, it's back-to-back incompletions, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Probably got 4-down situation here.
And if you're Matt, you feel a little bit better about leaving that zig open that Blocky's been hitting a lot. But if I'm playing Blocky, I know that Blocky will throw the zig. He will get to 4th and 4. He's not afraid to live on 4th down and throw that zig again on 4th down. So that's where it makes defense really, really tough when you are playing a player like Blocky.
Lamar, the former Heisman winner, will stand tall and hit a strike. There is Ross at the 25. Move the chains.
And that's just such a good adjustment by Blocky. What he's doing is he sees that his guy is in a hard flat, so he's just immediately playmaker in that John Ross up, getting in between that hard flat and the deep zone. Just a really good adjustment by Blocky.
He's getting busy with Ross. We haven't seen a lot of John Ross put in this kind of work so far.
And I love his placement in the pocket with Lamar Jackson.
Goes to the right this time and just throw it away. 6 of 9 for 107 yards now.
What I'm noticing on defense, though, Mattster's done his homework. He knows that Blocky likes that deep corner play where he rolls out and throws the corner out. He's completely taking that away and making Blocky throw to something else.
So inside field goal range with 43 seconds to go in the first. Scott Cole, Sirius Mo along with you. 2-time belt winner. Also have 2 belts, but I have to use them both to keep my pants up. Here's Lamar. Coming to the outside. And he'll just throw it away once again. You talked about just how smart Blocky is, that he is not going to give any sort of opportunity to make a mistake.
Yeah, he's as solid as it gets as far as decision making. He's not going to make that bad read. He's not going to throw into triple coverage. He's not going to take a sack. So you really have to play defense good for 4 downs.
Lamar, stay in the pocket for a moment. It's going to make Griffin miss and then slide down at the 22. And I believe we got a 39-yard field goal incoming. This to break the 7-7 tie. Something I like about Madden 20. If you're accurate on the downswing,
can't block it.
Can't get it blocked. We have not seen a lot of block kicks this year. 10-7 after the 39-yard field goal. And it only took 1 play last time for Mattster Gamer to get on the board. He's going to have his second possession as we start the second quarter. Blocky 10, Mattster Gamer 7. Smith bobbled it for a moment. It's got to lay down at the 20.
And it looked like Mattster ran the same defense he ran on first down, on second and third down. So I think Mattster might feel like he found something. I'll be interested to see what Blocky's play calling is in the next drive.
Kind of interested to see what Blocky's defensive play calling is going to be after giving up that long touchdown run to Clinton Portis. 1st and 10 from the 20. And the Sheriff will hand it off to Clinton one more time.
And we've seen him back on that safety. He wasn't going to give up a big, huge run. He's going to make Mattster at least have to work for it.
Of course, Manning and Portis both played for the Broncos, just not at the same time. 2nd and 12 at the 18 now after the loss of 2 yards. And for the first time, we might see him put it in the air. Pruitt comes in motion. That's all a show as he hands it off to Portis. And Troy Polamalu tripped him up at the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and inches and coming.
And Mattster knows if you're not running that exact defense that Mattster runs, if you catch your opponent on the linebacker, it's almost impossible to stop these halfback dives and stretches. You have to play on the linebacker, or on the safety, excuse me.
Of course, Portis, the former Miami Hurricane, won the national championship back in 2001. The Ken Dorsey-led team. And they'll hand it off to Portis. Of course, they were playing back in the old Orange Bowl back then. The Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes before they moved out to Hard Rock Stadium. 1st and 10. Quite a venue down there. I've seen some great games down there, and I've had some heartbreakers in Miami. They'll go to Portis, stretch it out one more time, and he jukes right back into the defense.
So when Blocky's on that safety, Mattster has 2 rushes for -1 yards. When Blocky's on any other player, he's got 3 rushes for 90 yards. All that tells me is I need to play on the safety. If he passes the ball, you know, I got to play good coverage, but you can't just lose the game because you're playing on the linebacker.
Hands it off to Portis. Portis finds him a running lane. That's close to the 1st down. Knee down at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a big 3rd and 1 incoming.
You just can't afford to give up 10+ yards every time somebody runs the ball. Because Mattster's going to be fine with being at 2nd and 11 if you're just going to already bail out of your run defense and just give up 10 or more the next play.
Needs to get to the 46-yard line. He'll go to Portis. He'll get the 1st down easily. That'll move the sticks as he gets near midfield at the 48, and that might take us to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I would expect Mattster to try to use the rest of this clock in this first half.
Of course, a big factor of that is you see number 26 on his play call screen with a little bit of fatigue. So he'll wind us down to the 2-minute warning, get that energy back for Portis. And a 10-7 ball game. This is the semifinal. Z-Thumbs won semifinal number 1. He is awaiting the winner between Blocky and Mattster. Remember, Z-Thumbs beat Blocky in the winner's bracket to get here, 21-17. So that could be a potential rematch in the final, as this is a rematch of last year's Madden 19 final between Blocky and Mattster Gamer, as Matt will hand it off to Portis one more time. And that's a big hit. Like Williams got in there on the tackle.
Yeah, Matt's just nowhere to go there. Just kind of running into the back of his offensive lineman. They were getting some push, but they couldn't get guys out the way. So that run wasn't going to go anywhere. But he picks up 4 yards, keeps it moving.
Second down now, cross midfield. As Portis will get it one more time and reaches out for the marker. Going to be just shy at the 43 as we go under 90 seconds left in the half.
I just want to see Blocky on his safety right here. Give yourself an opportunity to leave Mattster in a tough position.
3rd and 1. He's had a couple of these situations so far on 3rd and short. Has not been able to get the stop, and this time it's Clowney cutting through, making the big play, and here comes 4th down.
Did exactly what I said. Played on that safety. He gets a little bit of a rush attack there. Able to stop him. 4th and 3 coming up for Matt. He's going to have to pass the ball. He's not going to be comfortable running on this down.
Big 4th down with 65 seconds to go in the half for Mattster Gamer. Needs just 3 yards to continue the drive. He'll motion out to Sean Jackson. We have not seen him work that Donald driver yet, or Randy L. Peyton Manning.
Ooh.
And that's going to depend on the spot, and it will be a 1st down. Timeout with 58 seconds to go. Matt with 1 timeout remaining.
That got a little scary there, Scott. I thought he might have fell backwards.
And there goes Portis. He's out of control. 11 carries for 123. And that'll move the chains one more time, this time in field goal range at the 31.
And Blocky's trying not to give up a big play, so he's playing on that linebacker, but what it's doing, it's just letting Mattster run the ball and potentially have a big play rushing.
Portis' time dropped at the 28. Out of timeouts now is Mattster Gamer. Clock stopped, 26 seconds to go.
And for you guys at home, be careful calling your timeouts with 25 seconds because it can get really tough with the runoff. I don't mind it for Matt because I know he'll run the ball and probably spike it here. But if you're at home, it does get really tough with the runoff. Just be wary of that. It's a little bit scary. Almost play it how the NFL would. Just wait, take the time down, kick the field goal, because you're probably not going to score a touchdown anyways with 26 seconds left from the 30-yard line.
Certainly the runoff has been a game clock management changer. Here in Madden 20, the Sheriff will fire to Deshaun. And now you got...
It gets really scary, Scott. It gets really scary.
Time. It's going to run it all the way down. You got 5 seconds on the clock. Here for a 40-yarder to tie it up as time expires in the first half. 10-10. It's been as good as we thought it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would have chose to spike right there just because you never know how long it's going to take you to get out there. Sometimes it takes 15 seconds, sometimes it takes 17 seconds. I would have spiked because normally it's always about 12, 13 seconds. I would have known that would have leave me some time to get that field goal off.
Thank you.
And here we go. Mattster Gamer's going to get to start the second half with it. Chance to maybe double dip the chip. Get a field goal before the half to tie things up. See if he can go down here and put points on and take his first lead of the ball game.
And this is the great thing about Madden. These guys both scored on both of their first 2 drives. I don't think we're going to see that in the second half. I think we're going to see both players make great defensive adjustments and slow down this run. I think we're going to see Blocky slow down this run game, and we're going to see Mattster make adjustments on defense to stop Blocky's passing game.
Of course, Blocky back-to-back Dolphins club champion. Trying to make it 3 in a row. There hasn't been too many of those. 2nd and 8 now.
And if I'm Mattster, Blocky is letting it be known that he's playing on that linebacker. You can for the kids at home, you can kind of hide on that linebacker online as long as they don't have an identifier. Blocky's just letting it be known he's moving him around. I don't like that.
Portis gets caught up for a moment, then a big hit. So here comes a 3rd and 7.
Gotta hit that.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a run here because he's going to know that Blocky's on his linebacker. And when they're on your linebacker, it's really, really tough to stop the run, especially when you have everybody bunched up in the middle, especially those outside runs. I really wouldn't be surprised to see a run here, but it does look like Mattster's going to pass.
Skyco along with Serious Mo. One of us is very, very good at Madden. The other is clearly not. Quick throw to the outside. Donald Driver gets his first grab of the ball game, and here's a 4th and 3. What are you doing, Mo?
You got to air it out. I mean, I may think about a punt here just because I know my offense isn't set up for 4th and 3s. You know, it gets really, really scary to pass the ball. But I think we're going to see Mattster throw the ball here out of the under center formation. And I would like to see Blocky send some pressure. He's under center. It's really hard to pick up blitzes when your opponent's under center.
Sean Jackson will go all the way outside here on 4th and 3.
Nope.
Manning throws in the coverage. And that's a turnover on downs.
Oh, I thought he was from blitz.
How about Blocky piping up? How about that? I mean, that's the type of stuff that gets me excited. You know what I mean? When you hear guys that just don't talk, just like be so animated, I love it. You know what I mean? Because you do not see that from Blocky.
That's how much it means for him to represent the Miami Dolphins. Of course, that 100K at the end of the line will get you fired up too. Jackson rolling out to the left side. Spin move, and will slide down. That's what you talked about.
How sick is that? I'm telling you, you will not see that. You will not see that. Even from people using the escape bars, you will not see that. You'll see them try to spy, but you will not see them click onto it and make them a runner behind line of scrimmage and spin them. It's absolutely insane. Incredible stick work needed for that.
So that makes it a 1st and 10 at the 21. After the turnover on downs, Blocky all of a sudden on a drive. Lamar extends the play, and he'll just throw it away.
And if you're Blocky, you got to mix up your play calling. You're getting a little repetitive. You're not making bad reads, but your guys just aren't coming open. You need to mix up your plays, and that's the one thing I don't like from that I'm seeing from him.
Started the game 5 of 5. Now he's just gone 1 for 6.
And he's having a lot of the same plays. Here he's going to mix it up though.
Jackson stays in the pocket.
Great.
He'll just throw it away again.
Phenomenal user by Matt.
6 of 12 for 102 for Blocky in the passing game, but here comes a 3rd and 10. Blocky was phenomenal on the online ladders on 3rd down conversion. He converted at 77% of the time.
Look for Pruitt. Look for Pruitt here on the wheel.
That's good enough to be ranked #1 in 3rd down conversion. A big one here. Jackson. Blocky, roll to the left. And he'll just slide down. And he's going to take his 3.
Matt's playing really good defense. Blocky missed a read on that 3rd down, or on that 2nd down, where he could have probably squeezed it in, but he doesn't want to make that mistake, especially when he knows he's going to get points on this drive. He'd rather just throw to somebody wide open.
It's up and it's good. Back-to-back 39-yarders for Blocky. Puts him back on top, 13 to 10. Who's going to face Z Thumbs in the final? Will it be Blocky or will it be Master Gamer who gets the ball for the 2nd time here in the 2nd half with 1:48 to go here in the 3rd? You need Portis to come through for you if you're here, Matt.
Yeah, Matt came out on that single back wing tight the first play of the game and scored a touchdown, and I think he came back to it one other time, and now he's just completely given up on it and thrown straight to the strong close.
Portis got some space, cuts it back. That'll pick up the 1st down before Troy Polamalu, the former Southern Cal Trojan, trips him up at the 36.
And if you're Blocky, Matt's just snapping the ball so slow to where you can't really make any excuses to not be on your safety. He keeps getting caught on his defensive lineman, and you just can't allow that. You can't let that happen to yourself.
Portis, once again. Now I've been passing out fun facts. Troy Polamalu's senior year in high school, over 1,000 yards rushing.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
I saw my buddy Maurice Jones-Drew, and he went to visit, he ended up going to UCLA, but when he went to visit Southern Cal, they kept putting him with the safeties. He's like, I'm a running back. They're like, nah, man, you're a safety. And I guess Troy Polamalu ended up being the guy there at Southern Cal. 2nd and 2 for Portis. What a spin move! And Portis.
He's going to get caught.
Finally gets run down, but he's inside the red zone at the 17, and he could take us to the 4th, and that looks like what he's going to do. Put your 4s up, y'all.
I haven't hit a single cutback this game. That's my fault.
Matt, 32 and 18 in his 50 games played, and that was a huge run.
I just don't understand the thought process here by Blocky, Coming out in the third quarter, Matt's first drive, he plays on that safety, gets him in a really uncomfortable position immediately, gets a stop, and then now he's playing back on this linebacker on the D-line, and just giving up huge run after huge run. Play on that safety. Make Mattster pass the ball. He's not a great passer, and you want somebody to beat you doing something they're bad at.
Well, Blocky gonna have to try to stand tall here. Hold Matt to a field goal. Put 5 minutes on the clock. That's all that's left in this one here in our second semifinal. Z Thumbs is awaiting the winner.
I couldn't make it work. I tried. I probably tried a little too hard. I don't think I needed that.
He pinballs his way down to the 11. 18 carries, 194 for Portis.
Insane. We've seen a lot of that, though. Portis just going off in these games. But Blocky's not doing himself any favors.
So that brings up a 2nd and 4 at the 11. Peyton Manning up under center. He'll send Donald Driver off to the right. They'll hand it to Portis, and Portis will find his way into the end zone. And Mattster Gamer, for the first time, has the lead.
Blocky's just so uncomfortable in defense. He can't stop the run at all.
Yeah, I was watching his camera view of Blocky. Sort of looked like he was in a mental pretzel.
Yeah, he just keeps playing on that strong side linebacker, and it's just not working. You know, he doesn't have the run gaps filled. You need to play on that safety, kind of let those linebackers do their own thing, and you clean up the mess.
17-13 as Pruitt will take it out to the 25-yard line. 4:23 to go. Blocky has won back-to-back club championships for the Dolphins, but that is in a huge jeopardy right now. 1st and 10. Holt will motion out to the right. Blocky with Lamar. Buying time, looking for RB, and that is a terrible throw.
When you use Lamar, you're going to have a few of those a game, though. He knows that. He should have just set his feet there, had a guy wide open. It don't matter. He'll probably be there again, you know what I mean? So Mattster's going to give that up. He just doesn't want to give up the huge play.
He's 1 for his last 8 in the passing game. If you're scoring at home, that's not good. Checks it down to Ross. Ross has been his most reliable receiver. And we're going to have a 3rd and short incoming.
I think Ross might have all 7 completions.
He's got 5 catches for 54 yards.
He's definitely the guy that he's getting the ball to.
Needs a yard.
And I seen D. Croft play Young Kiv. This isn't going to work unless that bubble screen's open.
And he'll hand it off, and it's blown up in the backfield. A loss of 3.
And it did look like he had the bubble screen, Scott, but I knew that run defense is so good, and I knew that Mattster and them, they knew something. Him and his crew members, they knew something. They found a great run D. Props to them. I thought Blocky was aware of this, but you know, sometimes the pressure gets to you and you just feel like you have to run the ball on 3rd and 1, but I knew that Mattster had great run defense.
Well, here's a big 4th and 4 at the 30-yard line. Needs to get to the 35. Timeout. It's actually going to be Mattster Gamer that burns a timeout with 3:09 to go. It's a huge down. I get it. Your opponent is flipping it back and forth. You don't like the matchups, you call timeout.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a stop here, you don't win the game, but you put yourself in a much better position. So calling the timeout there is fine. I think we're going to see Blocky run that deep corner play. Hopefully he has a little bit better stick in the pocket, and he waits to make that decision because I think he'll have that post late.
Lamar.
Got him.
Will throw it, and it's inaccurate again.
That's that Lamar Jackson.
He's 2 for his last 10.
And, you know, that could have something to do with it. Sometimes when your quarterback's in a rhythm, he's not missing those throws. But when you aren't able to get your quarterback into a rhythm, it's a little bit easier for him to miss those throws.
Now Peyton Manning will go to work. Hands it off to Portis for Mattster Gamer. 20 carries for 206.
Don't do much about that.
Coming up after this, it'll be the Dolphins Club Championship Final. Who will Z Thumbs face? Right now it's looking like Mattster Gamer if he can hold on. Got a long way to go into this one.
We're seeing Blocky back on that safety, though. I like seeing that. Get back on him. Get back on him. When you use that linebacker, it's just so easy to give up a huge run.
Switches over to Troy Apke, getting around the outside, and there's
God.
Troy Polamalu
Jesus, that was a
and
touchdown.
Jadeveon Clowney on the tackle. Should take us to the 2-minute warning and a 17-13 ball game.
And if I'm Matt here, I just run the ball. I just run the ball, go up by 7. He's not a great passer. He's been having such success running the ball. There's no.
That's my fault,
He
man.
could still get the first down running. You know, you don't want to make a mistake here. You have to go up a full 7 points here because Blocky is a great offensive player. You don't want to put yourself in a position to lose the game. If you pass here, throw an interception, take a sack. I just really advise him running the ball here, but we'll see what he chooses to do.
Got to put that last play behind him. He certainly dwelled on it all the way down to the 2-minute warning. 17-13 on a gigantic 3rd and 7 here in the ball game. There's no reason to put this in the air.
Oops.
Sheriff barking out the orders. Couple Omahas for sure.
Looks like he is going to throw, Scott.
Of course, if you go down and score a touchdown here, you pretty much seal the game. You know, lining up in the eye one more time. This time he's going to hand it off to Portis. Portis gets to the edge.
Got him.
Gets it back, and a fumble is collected by Mattster Gamer.
Don't see a lot of fumbles being forced by the linebackers. That was a little bit unfortunate for Blocky. He forces the fumble, and his lineman's right there to pick it up.
So here's the 40-yarder. Kick is up, and it is good.
All right.
7-point ball game, 20-13. Blocky's going to have 150 to operate, 2 timeouts.
This is what it's all about, though. If you're an offensive player, you're comfortable in these situations. If this were me, I'd be like, what am I going to do? But Blocky, all he does is have to play regular offense, and he should be able to drive down there and put himself in a position to tie this game.
Well, he's going to start at the 26-yard line. For Blocky, who 72% of the community out on Twitter thought that he would be repeating for the 3rd time. Mattster Gamers had something to say about that today as Ross lays down at the 33.
And I have no idea. Blocky, if you're Blocky, you just got to get out of bounds right there. You don't have as much time as you think, and that clock is working against you.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 3. Clock ticking away. All kind of adjustments.
He's got the corner out.
And another inaccurate pass, and Blocky can't believe it. 3 of his last 12.
I don't feel bad.
You talk about not going out of bounds there. That was the difference of 14 seconds while he's making his adjustments.
Absolutely, and this Lamar Jackson just cannot hit a throw on the run right now. If you're Blocky, it's pretty disappointing to see. You know, you've missed your last 3 open guys when you've had an opportunity, but you got to just keep playing and keep making those same reads and pray that Lamar Jackson hits the throw.
3rd and 3 at the 33. Jackson, he's open again.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Why can't oh, jeez.
Get the wrong play.
Jeez.
Oh
Another play quickly.
Matt's starting to feel it now. He knows he's got a 4th down coming up here, maybe 4th in the game.
Blocky.
Game.
If you're Blocky, you're just sick right now. Back-to-back plays, you get a guy open. If you set your feet, you probably make the throw, but you have Lamar Jackson, you think it's all right. You know, it's almost like you want to throw the ball on the run with Lamar Jackson because that's what he does.
4th and 3. Certainly been an ugly passing attack after going 5 for 5 to start the ball game.
I do not like this play call, Scott.
Needs 3. Block shed, but he gets into Ross, and Ross will fumble it. It's scooped up by Griffin, and he might take it to the house. And he will. It is a scoop and score for Mattster Gamer. And he looks like he's certainly on his way to the final.
Absolutely. Pretty unfortunate there. You get the fumble on one end, his lineman picks it up, and then you try to possession catch and get hit while you're going down with John Ross. He forces a fumble for 6, and that's going to do it.
He would certainly need some Madden magic with 55 seconds. You're talking about a score, you're talking about an onside kick, and another score. I'm not sure if I'm Mattster Gamer, I don't lay down on that scoop.
The game's over. I would have laid down for sure. There's no doubt about it. Probably doesn't matter, but you definitely should lay down there because the game would be completely over. You can just take a knee on it. But if you're Blocky, you're just as sick as can be. You know, this second half, you actually played pretty good offense. Lamar Jackson missed some throws, and then John Ross coughs it up. It would have been tough to score it regardless because there's going to have been about a minute with no timeouts from about the 40-yard line. But if you're Blocky, you are absolutely sick. You feel like Lamar Jackson kind of sold you in this game.
And Lamar will run out of bounds. I'll stop the clock. 46 seconds to go. He only has one timeout remaining. Trailing by 2 touchdowns. We'll have the final immediately following this ball game. It's been a good one so far, and he's going to throw it deep to Tyreek. And that'll be picked off by Prime Time. Dion will carry it like a loaf of bread for a few yards, lay down at the 21, and this is GG's.
Yeah, if you're Blocky, you're sick. You know, you kind of made an adjustment there. It was able to stop the run a little bit better, and then on offense, you fumble the ball on your game tying drive. It's just really, really tough because it wasn't going to be easy, but the game just kind of takes it away from you when you go try to possession catch, go down, but you get hit while you're going down by a big hitter, and that's why John Ross isn't very much cap, and he is a low budget player.
Well, how about that start? 5 of 5 in the passing game for Blocky.
That's what happens when you live in Florida. You play for the Miami Dolphins, things like that. Congratulations on making it to the finals. You are a guy who is really one of the, I think, iconic preparers, so to speak, as far as how you actually approach the game of Madden. What kind of prep went into being so ready for this matchup against the defending champ?
I mean, even though it's Blocky, Rundy. Rundy is the thing. I mean, you've seen it. We've seen it today. We've seen it last week. Rundy is the best. So we got that
modest,
settled.
of course, yeah.
Not even. Yeah. It's the best. And, you know, I had a few different defensive game plans. You saw from the start of the game, I was in that 3-4 odd blitz. He played well against it. A lot of times, my game plan going in was a lot of times people don't know how to play against that in the first game seeing it. He started off well. I wasn't going to try and mess with it. He threw the touchdown. I got out of it. Went to my secondary game plan, view-wise defense. I mean, it was just that straightforward. Once he started throwing the zigs, I kind of just called a lot more match so we couldn't just playmaker and get those free yards. Outside of that, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure, go between palms and cover 2 so we couldn't just get the free stuff and just take away the bombs.
Well, you have a lot of confidence, obviously, but I think you also, one thing I noticed is high expectations for yourself.
Yeah.
You obviously want to win this final. You're one step away, but how does even, not from preparation, but your mentality have to shift in order to know that you've got to come here and take down a champ and now go ahead and do it again right afterwards?
I mean, that was the game I'm worried about. That's the reality of it. You know, play Z-Thumbs next, and me and Blocky had talked after online to kind of get some kind of scouting going on, but for both of our opponents, had either of us won, so I kind of know what he's doing. I mean, obviously watched the game, so.
Yeah.
It's very convenient that I saw that game because there was one thing that I had to find recently and adjust the run D to fix it for what he's doing. So it should be fine, though. So as long as unless I forget a step, we're good.
So he seems ready to go for it. But one thing I think we weren't expecting was that scoop and score at the very end as well.
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't sure if that was an incomplete and I'd caught it or if it was a fumble. It said fumble, but I don't think it hit the ground.
Yeah, you look confused.
Yeah, no, I wasn't
But
sure.
happy about it.
I was cool with it. I mean, I felt good in that spot anyways. I mean, he had like 40 seconds to go down the field on one timeout. I was just going to, like, let him have whatever he wants.
Yeah.
If he gets 7, he gets 7. Worst case, he goes to OT, but I didn't think thought he'd end up clocking himself out. I ended up clocking myself out of the first half. That was stupid of me. But I knew I was getting ball at half, so it wasn't the biggest deal.
A very analytical mind. Of course, this is a big win, man. You can't deny it. Blocky's
Absolutely.
in over the 100,000 club as well. You've got 26,000 in earnings, but hoping to be more. How would you rank this win as far as career wins for Mattster Gamer?
Just another one.
Just another one. All right, what about the next one?
The next one, that's about 4,000 more than the other one.
Okay,
We'll
so
just keep going up.
It's just a
and-
numbers game, mathematical mind.
As it goes up, it'll go up.
be a little bit more
Yeah,
historic.
and we're in around what 64. Let's have it go up a little before we
right.
get to importance.
All right, I like the patience there. Good hanging out with Mattster
Absolutely.
Gamer. And of course, he is going to be sending himself to the finals. All right, finals are set for the Madden